Okay, it's time for contestant number 2. I decided to do a hot tub date so that we had a little bit of time to get to know each other, and I am drinking some sparkling water because I'm not drinking alcohol right now. So let's see what happens as I get to know contestant number 2. Initial thoughts are that this is going to be a bit of a long one, so let's hope I don't get too hot in the hot tub while I'm reading this. The jets leave a lot to be desired. There's the bubbles. It's deep, right there. Okay, initial thoughts. This is a very intense first date because at this point we're at some kind of boarding school. It seems like it's in the UK because it's like first form and all that stuff, and we don't have that here in the US. There's an active shooter at the school, and the headmaster has just been shot, and the kids are trying to protect him. And that's where we're at so far. Just the kids are trying to get an ambulance to come, get the police to come, and of course stay hidden so that the active shooter, who's still wandering around, you can hear him wandering around the hallways. It got way too hot in the hot tub. So that part of my date has ended, and I brought my contestant back inside so we could get to know each other a little more. And at this point, the vibe is so very different between this contestant and the first contestant. It's a very intense, frightening vibe, actually. So it's about a school shooting. I don't know yet like what the bigger story is, because at the moment we're just in the middle of this school shooting, and there's at least 1 or 2 shooters, and we're getting to know bits and pieces about the different people within the school, like the teachers, some of the students, and then the actual school itself, like the layout of the school, because we're learning about this as the story goes. It's a really hard topic because, you know, I'm becoming a teacher. It's a very scary subject that I think all of us educators have to face. I mean, I'm not at the point where I've been in a school every single day all the time, and it is already something that does play on your mind, and you think about what are the possibilities? What can I do in these situations? What would I do if something happened? It's a very rough subject, and like I said, I don't know yet where it's going to go. What I can say is that I'm really enjoying the writing so far. Even though this is such a different vibe than the first contestant, it could end up at a point where I have such a high level of intrigue because I don't know what's going to happen next. Whereas the first book, I had an idea of sort of the trajectory of the story. Granted, there's going to be a lot of things added, but this one, I really have no idea. So will my level of intrigue be so high that I'm like, well, I got to pick this one because I just want to know what happens next. It is a very quick start, like things are happening from the beginning, so it's very easy to get pulled into this one. So far, both contestants actually have pulled me into the story right away. And that's not something that happens all the time. So I am very interested. But yeah, it's a much different feeling that I'm having about this book than I did the first one. One paragraph that I feel really touches on the beauty of the writing is this one that says, "She tries not to listen to the footsteps, but instead reads the titles of the books as they use them to barricade the door. The Color Purple by Alice Walker, Trainspotting by Irvin Welsh." Click, click. That's the heels of the guy. The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, click, click. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, Godless in Eden by Fay Weldon, The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. She imagines bullets going through the books, leaving splashes of purple, a wrecked time machine, a smashed lighthouse lamp, and everything going dark. I feel like that one little paragraph is a great example of the things I'm enjoying about the writing in this. There is a little bit of, I mean, I say whimsy, but whimsy is not the right word when there's a school shooting, but like the writing has a little bit of detail and creativity, while also the rest of it is very straightforward. This is what's happening. This is what's happening during this event that is horrifying. So I am really starting to get into this, and I am having no problem just getting through it. Like, this is one of those stories where I'm not getting distracted very easily. Okay, so I finished the 10% on contestant number 2, and that's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's not a pleasant read. You know what I mean? It's not a pleasant read, but it pulls you in right away. And of course, the subject matter really makes you feel things, and it really makes you worried and concerned and nervous for these people. And it is definitely going to be a thrilling story in the sense that it will go by quickly, be fast paced. I'm very interested in getting to know these characters because we're starting to know more about the individuals in the story. And I do like the character development in this so far. So I am intrigued, and I'm intrigued to find out what's going to happen next because we still don't know who the shooters are. So we don't know where this is going to go. And I'm wondering if some of the names that have been mentioned are possibilities for people who could be the shooters. I don't know. I have a bit of a sneaky suspicion at this point, very, very early on, obviously, but I haven't gotten all the information. I could see myself picking something like this because I want to find out what's happening next, you know? It's really difficult when you are given a story like this where you just want to keep going on and seeing what's going to happen, and then you're just sort of left with not knowing anything and not having a resolution. I do think this is an interesting choice. It was a very interesting choice, Shell. So I'm gonna be thinking about this one. And of course, once I've read all 10 of these, if this one is still nagging at me and the intrigue is still really pulling at me, it could be one of the ones I end up picking. All right, so now we're gonna hear from our bookish matchmaker to find out why she chose contestant number 2.
I'm pleased to hear that your first date went well for contestant number 2. It's thrilling, but it may also break your heart. 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton. Now, it's a mystery thriller, which you tend to enjoy, though you don't read them very often. And it has elements of literary fiction in it, which I think you'll really appreciate. The formatting is also really good, and it's interesting and kind of novel. So I think that will intrigue you. It will give you all of the feels, which I know you love in a book. It'll make you happy. It'll probably make you cry. I think you'll really enjoy reading this, and I hope that the first 10% will give you an idea of how it will go. Good luck.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and stick around to see what happens with contestant number 3, my third date. See if the vibe changes altogether again, because I imagine Shell is doing this intentionally. She wants to give me such different choices that it's going to make it very hard to come to a decision in the end. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.